Leonardo da Vinci, a man in whom mathematics, philosophy, and mystery came to life. Many of his works continue to be discussed for centuries. What was he trying to tell us? Today, we're going to bring those secrets to light. The most perfect and mysterious masterpiece ever delivered to us by history, The Last Supper. This painting, one of Leonardo da Vinci's greatest works, hides countless enigmatic secrets within it. Sit back, because you're about to uncover the mysteries hidden inside the most enigmatic painting in history. Leonardo da Vinci created many paintings, and interestingly, it has been discovered that most of them contain hidden clues or coded messages. The painting was made on a 4 by 8 meter wall inside the Santa Maria Monastery. The monks used to come here, have their meals, and imagine themselves dining in the same room as Jesus. According to belief, the painting represents the Last Supper that Jesus Christ shared with his apostles the night before he was arrested by Roman soldiers, which is also where the painting gets its name. The mystery begins with the painting itself, because it was created directly opposite another fresco depicting the crucifixion of Christ. Leonardo wanted to show the day before and the day after the crucifixion within the same space. When you look at the painting, you can see Jesus in the center, standing with his head lowered in sorrow, and he appears in the exact same posture in the fresco facing him. The reason he lowers his head is because of one person at the table, a traitor. Many of the dishes on the table appear to have already been eaten, meaning the meal was nearly over. At that moment, Jesus makes an announcement to his apostles who have just finished eating and says, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." Right after this statement, you can see the look of shock on everyone's faces because it meant there was a traitor among them. The people at the table couldn't comprehend what he meant. Bartholomew, James, and Andrew all look surprised. Judas is in disbelief. Next to him, Peter is holding a knife and looks tense. Among the apostles, the figure said to be Mary Magdalene sits with her head bowed, though some believe this figure is actually St. John. Thomas looks sorrowful, James appears shocked, and Philip seems to be seeking an explanation. Thaddeus and Matthew turn towards Simon, seemingly waiting for a response. The painting captures that exact moment and what follows. But perhaps there are other things Leonardo wanted us to see. Now it's time to uncover those secrets one by one. When Jesus said, "One of you will betray me," it would be natural for everyone hearing it for the first time to be shocked. However, at the table, besides Jesus, there is only one person sitting with their head bowed. The figure said to be Mary Magdalene, seated to Jesus' left or right. Here it may appear as though Mary Magdalene is the betrayer, but in reality, she might not have betrayed him at all. Perhaps she is simply saddened or even fainting at that moment. There may, in fact, be another traitor, Judas. When you look at Judas, one who gazes at Jesus in astonishment, you can notice the money bag in his right hand. The Romans may have given him this bag as payment for his betrayal. There is also another sign of betrayal. While Jesus is reaching toward the cup or bowl with his right hand, Judas is also reaching toward it, an act of great disrespect, something none of the apostles would ever do. In some depictions of the Last Supper, Jesus, knowing that Judas would betray him, is shown separating Judas from the other apostles, placing him on the opposite side of the table. We will soon move on to the terrifying secrets hidden in the painting. But first, we need to finish examining the scene itself. The man holding a knife might seem to be the betrayer, but in fact, this figure is Saint Peter, one of Jesus's most trusted apostles, his protector. Peter is shown here drawing his knife as if saying, "Tell me who it is that will betray you, Lord." James, just behind Peter, raises his hand to calm him down. The others, meanwhile, are still in shock at Jesus's words. While the painting appears to depict this exact moment, Leonardo hides many of his secrets. Outside the story itself, look closely. You can see that Jesus and Mary Magdalene seem to be in perfect harmony. Their garments and their posture complement each other completely. When you visually bring them together, they form a flawless symmetry. Notice how the blue of Jesus's robe perfectly completes the missing part of Magdalene's clothing. But this perfection doesn't end there. Her head tilts gently toward his shoulder, and her folded hands align precisely above Jesus' hands, matching in an almost supernatural way. Some, however, make more radical interpretations. They claim Leonardo may have hidden a baby wrapped in cloth within Judas's figure, a form that only appears when the image of Jesus and Mary Magdalene's harmony is overlaid. These theorists believe it represents a child born of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, as their compassionate gazes seem to reflect the tenderness of parents looking at their child. What do you think? We can see that Leonardo had drawn these figures on paper beforehand. However, the final version of the painting turned out differently from what he had originally envisioned. For example, Judas the betrayer was first drawn seated on the opposite side of the table, but later Leonardo moved him among the apostles slightly forward because his initial placement disrupted the composition's balance. In his earliest sketches, the expressions of sorrow among the apostles were also different, showing that Leonardo didn't have a clear concept from the beginning and was still undecided. Over the centuries, the painting has undergone numerous restorations, which explains many of the inconsistencies we see today. Some parts were repainted or altered, not strictly adhering to the original version, perhaps even deliberately. In Leonardo's early drafts, Judas could appeared younger, lighter in tone compared to now. But in later restorations, the restorers, knowing Judas was the traitor, intentionally darkened his figure, leaving him more in the shadows to set him apart from the other apostles. This is clearly visible when compared to the original sketches. When you look at the painting from a wider angle, you'll notice a moss space right at the center. It naturally draws your attention. Jesus is perfectly positioned within a triangle of flawless proportions. Leonardo, who loved mathematics, deliberately used it in his compositions. By aligning the lines so precisely that they converge around Jesus, Leonardo made the scene appear geometrically perfect and visually realistic. If you view the mural from a distance, you'll see that it aligns seamlessly with the architectural structure of the room itself. Some of Leonardo's secrets are only now beginning to come to light. Mirrors. We can see that he used the mirroring technique in some of his paintings. This allows us to see another dimension of the artwork. Leonardo left us a very clear clue, inviting us to use this mirror method, the knot on the table. If you look carefully at the tablecloth, you'll notice that the knot exists only on the right side. There is no knot on the left. For years, people wondered why it wasn't drawn on both sides, but it's clear now that Leonardo left this as a hint for us. He wanted us to flip the painting and complete the knot on the tablecloth. By doing so, we discovered that he hid certain secrets and wanted us to find them. When we turn the image upside down and examine it, we add an entirely new dimension, the third dimension. If we take some of Leonardo's paintings, reverse them, and bring them together side by side, we can see that a new face appears in the image, looking directly at us. And when we apply this exact method to the Last Supper, we can see that Leonardo da Vinci hid himself inside the painting. It's both thrilling and a little terrifying. There are some who say it doesn't look like Da Vinci at all, or that it might just be a coincidence. But Leonardo was a man full of secrets and extraordinary intelligence, so it's completely natural to think he could have done this intentionally. The frightening part, however, is that there might be something else hidden in this painting, a demonic figure. Some believe it could be a coincidence, but certain details appear far too perfect, as if they were deliberately crafted. When the mirroring technique is applied with Jesus Christ as the central axis, we see a figure with the horns clearly visible. In the center, hands placed on the table, palms open to each side, almost as if saying, "You may begin." The fact that the fingers are drawn so sharply is especially striking. There is no clear record of Leonardo's personal religious beliefs. If he truly hid a demonic figure within the painting, it might suggest what he believed in, but of course, these are all just theories. The idea that such secrets could be hidden inside paintings is fascinating and mysterious for those who love research and discovery, and these secrets hidden within the art won't stop here. If you want to see what comes next, like this video to let me know you want more.